Hey there, noodlers, and all you want to be or possibly are being or whatever you are, real estate investors out there. Paul Romero here with the Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate Investing, number 195 on this beautiful new op day, a little chilly, hence the long sleeves. New op day AM here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's bright and beautiful. It looks a lot warmer than it is. It's amazing how really clear days are generally colder than cloudy ones or whatnot. But then also too, how they just look. The colder days just look so crisp and clean and clear. It's a really awesome, which is what makes this a beautiful morning. Looking out the window here. But anyway, with that, welcome to the, as I said, welcome to the network marketing. I'm sorry, no, the wholesale real estate investing. Buy, sell a house, number 195 on this glorious new update, and where we are getting back into how to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie's masterful book. And why are we doing this? Because in real estate, as in pretty much anything, any business, and as in life, your level of success hinges upon your ability to interact with other people. And that's the bottom line. And I'll tell you what, I am a perfect example of this power that interacting with people brings, because well, I guess I can go all the way to childhood, but I'll start at age 15. How's that? I should probably even go back a little further. I'll probably go back to age 10. So from age 10 for 41 years, I had no clue how to interact with people on a successful level, on a meaningful level, on even just a semi-intelligent level. Not that I wasn't intelligent, not that I couldn't do it, not that I didn't have it within me to be able to do so. It was the fear of getting it out that prevented me from doing so. And it was the fear of a lot of things, but I'll just go with that. But there was other fears in there as well too that prevented me from contributing to a conversation. If there was 3 people and I was one of them standing in a circle talking, 2 people would be doing all the talking. I would be just listening and interjecting sort of semi-meaningless, joking, sort of not real contribution to the conversation. Where there would be nothing of any depth with which I'd be inserting into this conversation. And that's a bad thing. And that was like the limit of my personal abilities. Like I said, not the limit of my knowledge, not the limit of my capabilities, the limit of my personal abilities, what I was personally able to mentally do and perform at the time. Okay, the level of your ability and the level of your capability are 2 vastly different things. All right, don't confuse the 2. So anyway, chapter 2 or part 2 of this book. Just a real quick recap here before I jump into it. Part 1, remember now, is the fundamental techniques in handling people. And again, I'm going to show you the segment of the book. It's that little piece right there compared to all of that right there. Okay, just that little piece right there is the fundamental. It says it right there in the name of part 1, the fundamental techniques in handling people. And we talked about the power of the basics, mastering the basics, mastering the fundamentals. Your success in everything lies in you mastering the basics. Okay, forget about all the hotsy-totsy, whoop-de-doo, fancy schmancy stuff. Mastering the basics is the key to success at all things. All right, so chapter 1 of part 1 was, if you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Basically, yeah, don't be pissing people off. Don't be inspiring resentment in other people towards you. All right. Once a person has built resentment towards you, you know, once you've, let me rephrase that, once you've caused a person to build resentment towards you, it's almost impossible to ever get that back. Part 2, or chapter 2, is the big secret of dealing with people, and that is that people want to feel important. Make people feel important by giving them honest and sincere appreciation, okay? Not criticizing or condemning or blaming or doing any of those things, but just giving them honest and sincere appreciation for all of the good things. Look beyond the bad things, appreciate and give sincere praise for the good things, and then you can introduce the things that are wrong, and they'll be accepted. Switch that around, accept the things that are, introduce the things that are wrong first, and then try to give praise, and you're just blowing smoke up their ass, and they're gonna look at it that way, and you have already instilled that resentment that I just spoke about from chapter 1 that you're not going to be able to remove, or it's going to be very, very difficult to remove, and you're stuck. You're screwed. You've already, you've lost that relationship pretty much for life. Okay, and number 3, he who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. And what we're talking about in here is arousing in other people an eager want, okay? The ability to present things in a way that people will want to do them, okay? Not that you are forcing anything upon them. It's not your idea. It's not something that you have determined they have to do or should do. It's inspiring within them, instilling within them, in the way that you present your information, a desire and a want within themselves, basically talking themselves into doing what you want them to do. So, chapter 1, in a nutshell, the fundamental techniques in handling people are: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Give honest and sincere appreciation, and arouse in the other person an eager want. Master those things, and you could go moving into part 2. Now we're getting into some how-tos here. This is very, very awesome stuff. This is the fun, applicable things. See, those are applicable things, but those are things that are take your training of yourself. You have to seriously, well, all of this stuff is really, you have to seriously think about it and apply it out in your daily life if you're ever going to achieve it and master it. So, part 2, 6 ways to make people like you. Interesting. 6 ways to make people like you. Ever wonder why you don't have any friends? You probably have friends, but are they really friends, or are they just people you hang out with? Because friends are there to support you and to assist you and help you and do for you when you're in time of need. Okay? You call your friend and say, "Hey, you know what? I gotta do something this weekend. Would you come over and mow my lawn for me? Because I'm not going to be able to get it, and I didn't get it done last week, and it's really, really tall and has to get done. And I was planning on doing it, but this thing suddenly came up. Would you do that for me?" And your friend says, "Yeah, right. I got to sit here and watch the game and drink beers. I ain't coming over to mow your lawn. What do you think I am? Your slave?" I don't know. That's a weird example, but seriously, a friend would be like, "Yeah, I can give up 20 minutes of the first quarter to go and mow your lawn for you if it's that important to you. I can make that happen for you, man. No problem." Okay, so are your friends people that you just hang out with, or are your friends really friends? And the reason why I say that, and what this is all about, 6 ways to make people like you, is because most people are out there running around trying to do exactly that. Make people like them. Make people like them. Sorry about that. My voice went away there into a frog. But that's what most people are out there trying to do, is make people like them. Well, you know what? That's all fine and dandy if you're going about it the right way. Because if you're going about it the right way, it's actually very simple. But if you're not going about it the right way, it's virtually impossible. And most people are going about it the wrong way. So, chapter 1, entitled, Do This and You'll Be Welcome Anywhere. Interesting. Welcome anywhere. Any places where you're not welcome? People's houses, family, relatives, restaurant or bar. I mean, any place where you're not welcome. Never know. Could be. Do this, and you'll become welcome in those places once again. Might take a little while, but I just had some malware blocked. Yay! So do this, and you'll be welcome anywhere. And I love the way this starts out. I guarantee you that you probably have never thought of this. Okay, why read this book about how to win friends? Why not study the technique of the greatest winner of friends the world has ever known? The greatest winner of friends the world has ever known. Who is he? Well, you may meet him tomorrow coming down the street. Quite possible. You might meet him out in your the walking areas of your complex. Wherever. You could meet this person anywhere, any day, sometimes even multiple times in a day. When you get within feet of him, he'll begin to wag his tail. When you get, if you stop and pat him, he will almost jump out of his skin to show you how much he likes you. And you know that behind this show of affection on his part, there is no ulterior motives. He doesn't want to sell you any real estate, and he doesn't want to marry you. Did you ever stop to think that a dog is the only animal on the planet that doesn't have to work for a living? I guess that's why they say it's a dog's life. Because you don't have to work for a living. You know what? Maybe financial freedom is a dog's life. You don't have to work for a living. A hen has to lay eggs, a cow has to give milk, a canary has to sing, but a dog makes his living by giving nothing but love. Give nothing but love. I guess that's what this is all about. Do this and you'll be welcome anywhere. He goes on to tell a little story about when he was 5 and his dad bought him a little yellow-haired pup for 50 cents. And it was the light and joy of his childhood. And every afternoon about 4:30, this dog would sit in the front yard with his beautiful eyes staring steadfastly at the path. And as soon as he heard my voice or saw me swinging my lunch pail, or it says dinner pail, but nowadays lunch pail, through the buckbrush, he was off like a shot, racing breathlessly up the hill to greet me with leaps of joy and barks of sheer ecstasy. His dog's name was Tippy. And he says, "You never had to read a book on psychology, Tippy. You didn't need to. You knew by some divine instinct that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Did you catch that? Did you hear that? Let me repeat that. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. That's what I was talking about right there. The people that are out there trying to make friends that are doing it all wrong. Most people out there that are trying to make friends are all about me. Oh, you should like me because I, this, that, and the other thing, right? Little secret here. Nobody gives a flying poo about you, okay? They don't. And you trying to win friends by the whole idea of you should like me because I'm this great because of all the things that I can do, or all the things that I have done, or all the things that I have, or whatever the case might be. Basically, there's a real good reason to arouse resentment in somebody because they don't care about you. They care about themselves. Did you know that the most used word in the English language, you know what it is? Yeah. This is an interesting thing. He talks about the New York Telephone Company that made a detailed study of telephone conversation to find out which word is the most frequently used. In 500 telephone conversations, this one word was used 3,900 times. 500 conversations, 3,900 times this one word was used. And you know what? That means that just shy of 13% of the conversation was dominated by this one word. I'm sure you know what it is by now after this conversation. Yeah, I. All about me. You know what the second word was? The second most used word is my. I and my and followed by me. Yeah, me, myself, and I are dominating this conversation. Think about it. Think about it. You and the way you talk to people and what you talk about to these people and how many times you might be using the words I, my, and me in your conversations with other people, and then step back and think about how that's affecting these other people's thought process. Do they really want to know all about I, my, and me? Or do they prefer to know about their own I, my, and me? Do they want to hear out of your mouth, you, and you, so that they can express their I's, my's, and me's? You're darn right they do. That's exactly what they want. And if you want to win friends, you change all your I's, my's, and me's to use, and use. Yeah. To you, y'all, you'uns, use, whatever part of the slang in the country you want to change that to. That just popped into my head. Yeah, you change all your I's, my's, and me's to use, and let the other person express all of their I's, my's, and me's. And guess what? Now they love you. You just made a friend. These people think you are the most fantastic person in the world because you get them. You understand them. You actually listen to them. You care about them. You, as the principal of this chapter, are genuinely interested in them. And when you are genuinely interested in them, they love you. You are their friend. Bam, just like that. Just like Tippy becomes genuinely interested in the other person. Practically jumps out of his skin. Practically jumps out of his skin to show you how much he likes you. You try that on somebody. Get them excited about the fact that you're excited to see them, that you just love being around them, that you want to know things about them. How do you do that? How do you do all that stuff? Just be enthusiastic. Smile. Smile, number one, right off the gate, says I like you. Okay, that's going to break the ice right there. If you're frowning at someone and you want to show them and you want to show them that you're genuinely interested in them, they don't want you to be genuinely interested because you look like an angry mess and they don't want any part of that. So smile first of all. There's a good start right there. Smile. That tells people that I like you right there. Hey, you're making me smile. I must like you, right? Instantaneously, you're telling them I like you. So smile first, and then ask questions. Don't tell your story. Don't tell stories. Don't tell about I, my, and me. Ask questions about you. Oh, wow. So how did you get started in that business? That's quite interesting. Wow. What would you what kind of advice would you give somebody who was starting out in a business like that? Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. What kind of changes have you seen? You know, oh, really? Your mom? Wow. How old is your mom now? Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, where did she grow up at? Where's your mom? Just, I mean, whatever. Ask questions. That's all you got to do. Or make open-ended statements which induce them to speak. So just shut up. You want to make a friend? Shut up. That's the bottom line. Okay? The more you talk and the more you blab, the more you're talking about, the one thing in this world that you know best. And again, that being I, my, and me. And you're, just the other person is sitting there listening to your I, my, and me. And the only thing they're thinking about when you're doing that is where can I get my I, my, and me in? Where can I jump in this conversation? How can I tell my story? And you're telling all your stuff, and they go, and you ask them, so what do you think about all that? And they're gonna be like, uh, uh, yeah, totally. Because they haven't heard a freaking word you said. They have no clue what you just said. Because the whole time you were talking about I, my, and me, they were trying to figure out how to get in their I, my, and me. So they don't even know what you said. So why waste your breath? First of all, they're not listening. If they're not listening, why are you blabbing about I, my, and me? That's the bottom line right there. Listen, shut up and listen. Ask questions. That's what it's all about. Now, how does all this apply to wholesale real estate? Well, very simply, we talk about the fact that people like to do business and will do business with people that they feel they know, like, and trust. Do you think you talking all about I, my, and me, about how good you are, about how many houses you're going to buy this month, about how little money you have, about how you have to make a decision, about how you can close quickly and how you will buy in any condition, and all those yeah. Is that going to instill or build any inkling of an idea that they know you just because you just now told them all about you? No, they're not even listening to you. They're wondering, well, that's all great, but what about me and my problem? I'm the one with the problem here. You want to hear what my problem is? Oh, you're great. Yeah, that's awesome. But what about me and my problem? Don't you want to hear what my problem is? Oh, wow, that's fantastic. You got money. Wow. You don't want, what about me and my problem? You don't want to hear what, that's what they're thinking. They're not listening to you. But if you go in asking questions, you find something that you can dissuade the conversation away from the purpose of you being there initially. Build a little rapport on something other than the fact that you want to buy their house. Now, dig in. Now, ask some questions. Now, get them to open up and talking about something that they like, something that excites them, something that they're interested in, something that they want. And you know what? Bingo, there you go. Now you just want a friend because you became genuinely interested in them. They feel like they know you, even though you have not said but 15 words all in a question directed at them, designed to make them talk about themselves, and they feel like they know you, and they feel like you get them, and they feel like they can trust you, and they will want to do business with you. And it doesn't matter who else had come to the door prior. They might have even offered more money, and it makes no difference to them because they like you. They'll want to do business with you, and they'll sell you their house over the other guy because he was kind of a jerk. You know what I mean? So that's how all of this ties into wholesale real estate success. It ties into a lot more than wholesale real estate success. It ties into success in pretty much everything you do. Success in life, success with business colleagues, business dealings, success on a personal level with family and friends, success in a relationship level. The biggest what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you call it a deflector, kind of like two magnets. When you have them on the same polarity, they don't stick together, they push each other away. The biggest deflector in a relationship is basically just that, not showing genuine interest in the other person. You know, now the purpose or the biggest subject of argument and dissension in a relationship is obviously money. That's well known. That's the basis for pretty much every divorce there ever was. But a lot of that begins with, you know, the inability to show a genuine interest in your, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, or whatever. We're all so caught up in our own lives. We don't have time. You know, we want somebody by our side, but we don't have time for them. It's like, here, yeah, come join me and stand behind me because I've got time for you here. Be there when I need you. Otherwise, I don't need you. You know, that's kind of how a lot of relationships get destroyed. Here again, I myself am a perfect example. Okay, I practically drove my marriage to, you know, to the pits because, yeah, no communication whatsoever, no interest whatsoever in what the other. I mean, I even flat out came out and told her several times, "Don't even talk to me about that crap because I have no interest in it. I don't care this much about it. I don't want to hear it." Wow, that's really good for a relationship, isn't it? Yeah, Mr. Guilty right here. You know, so I'm no perfect angel here, but you know what? I've learned to curb that. I can't say that I don't say those things anymore, but I catch myself saying them and I stop myself from completing them, and I turn the conversation in a different way in such that I can still sort of get the point out that that isn't one of my areas of focus right now, that I can't really take the time to give it any focus right now. Not that I'm not interested, but just that I really can't afford to break away from what I'm doing, so to speak, to give that, you know, real effort and thought. So, I mean, at least that's a change in the right direction. I don't know if that's the perfect answer or not, but that's how much I've turned it around for now. Now, everything's a step-by-step process. So that's, you know, a step in the right direction, I feel. Anyway, I just want to say that being genuinely interested in other people might sound easy. And you might think, well, I'm interested in other people. I'm a people person. I like other people. I'm interested in people. Listen to your next conversation with anybody. and really think about how much interest in them you are portraying in that conversation. And I will bet dollars to donuts that you will think at the end of that conversation, if you think back on it, and you'll think, wow, yeah, I really didn't even let them talk. Or, you know, while they were talking, I wasn't even listening. And how many times did I just change their subject into something that I wanted to talk about? Talk about annoying right there. Oh yeah, you did. You see the big game yesterday? Well, actually, Joe, I read this article about, wait a second. Joe wanted to talk about the big game. Talk about the big game with Joe if that's what he wants to talk about. All right. Forget about your article for now. Bring that up later, maybe. Let Joe go. So anyway, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. And what I desire is more friends. That's right, real friends, not just people to hang out with. I desire more friends, and I'm going to apply the principles within this book to gain more friends and to do more business. And with that, everybody, we will see you back here on Wisdom Wednesday, where we will get into something very wise. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll see. You have to come back. All right, we're out of here. Have a great